8:30. Good Friday morning. Welcome to the WLBB Community Voice on News Talk 1330, FM 106.3, streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. And this morning we are on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page, where you can see my lovely young guests who are sitting across from me. I already have somebody commenting on the Facebook page this morning. Once I introduce my guests, I'll make sure that I shout this out. Sitting to my left is Sarah Andrews. She is Deputy City Manager and CFO for the city of Villa Rica. And to my right, Villa Rica Mayor Gil McDougal. Good morning to both of you. Thanks for coming out.
Good morning.
Good morning. Going to catch up with all the things happening in Villa Rica, get some updates on maybe some projects, and I want to talk about the two major events that are coming up within the next couple of weeks as well. I want to give a big promotion for there. But I think we just put this up on Facebook like 5 minutes ago, and Joel just put who our guests were. And somebody already posted on Facebook, a young lady named Vicki Johnson Anderson. She says, nothing against Carrollton, but if the Carroll County Commission is unable to work with Villa Rica on the TAD, which has been the case so far, then I do not think that they should be involved with Carrollton's TAD. And apparently Carroll County will vote on getting involved with Carrollton's TAD later on this month or early part of next month or something like that. But so far, no agreement with the city of Villa Rica. Since we brought that up already, is that a dead deal? Is there still a chance that Carroll County could work with Villa Rica as far as the tax allocation district?
Well, I'll just say this, just in the interest of, I appreciate Vicki's comment there. There have been some discussions since we were able to get an agreement with the school system, and we've talked. I've personally talked with the chairman for the county commission and the commissioner for the city of Villa Rica, District 2, Clint Chance. We've had some good discussions, and I think I'll leave it at that for now.
You don't want to tell us what the holdup is?
No. Well, I'm not even going to say there's a holdup. We've had some good discussions, and I feel like there's a good faith effort here, and we'll see where we end up.
Would that benefit taxpayers in any way for Carroll County to get on board? Would it make the process, the payback process, quicker or anything?
Yeah, no question. We've looked at some of the preliminary numbers, and with the county's participation, we've scaled this project back significantly from where it was about a year ago. We're back now to about the basic nuts and bolts of what the intention was, which was to connect the Mirror Lake side of the city of Villa Rica with downtown. And we're back to that sort of basic structure now. And in looking at the bonds, if we were to have the county's participation, it would allow us to pay off those bonds as much as 3 years earlier. So it would be a huge benefit to the city of Villa Rica, to the taxpayers, for the entire district.
And that jumps out to me because I remember Tom Barber, city manager, saying, basically, we're at the mercy of the economy as far as this goes. Once we get into this contract, we just, we're hopeful that the economy will handle it and allow us to pay this back timely.
Well, sure. The economy certainly plays a huge role in how this thing A, builds out, and B, pays off the bonds. However, I would mitigate that question of the economy this way with regard to how narrow this project is now. The vast majority of the project is already underway. Mm-hmm. The land has already been padded, and so I wouldn't say that this part of it is particularly subject to the economy. But certainly, if the economy were to roar even more than what is there now, it would be a significant benefit to the project.
Can you confirm the anchor store? I did a story on it about 2 months ago, just based on documents online. Can you confirm what that anchor store will be, and then maybe some of the other retailers in that complex?
Well, I won't go beyond the anchor store, and I really am only hesitant about that in so much as I'm not sure that all of the agreements have been signed with regard to the developer. But because this story has already been out there, I will confirm that that particular anchor will be a relocated Publix. Mm-hmm. The Publix that now sits in the Mirror Lake Shopping Center is about 32,000 square feet. The new Publix will be 60,000 square feet. We had really outgrown that Publix at Mirror Lake anyway. The parking there is always full. It was necessary that the store be larger. And my primary concern when I was made aware of that was, what will we do with the the old Publix. I want to assure the public that Publix does not own the old shopping center. It is owned by an investment company in Texas, and they have assured us that they intend to have another significant grocery store in that location. And I won't go beyond that, but we are certainly working proactively with that owner to make sure that that becomes something that we can be proud of there as well.
Is there a name planned for the Fuquay development? Is it going to be like the Golden Trail or anything like that?
No, there's no plan for that. Mr. Fuqua has talked to us a number of times, asked us for suggestions. We've thrown some out. We'd be happy to hear from the public what some ideas might be, and we'll pass those along. That's not really a decision for us, but he has been really gracious in including us in that discussion. We just haven't come up with one yet.
You have to include Wildcat in there somewhere, or purple, or gold. Sure. Our guest this morning, Villa Rica Mayor Gil McDougal, and Sarah Andrews, Deputy City Manager and CFO for the city of Villa Rica. Another project that is getting a lot of talk lately, which I think could be done within 2025, the bypass. Is that the latest on that? What do you guys hope to see that bypass zoned?
Well, I don't want to leave Sarah out of the conversation.
I'm looking at both of them when I talk.
We bring her in, but that bypass will be a significant. The northern loop will be a significant thoroughfare really for us, and I suspect that because of who owns land there already, we're looking at commercial and retail space along that corridor. But let me let Sarah weigh in here.
I would agree with that. Obviously, the hope with the bypass is we're going to take truck traffic out of downtown and take it to the bypass. But with that being said, I know in conversations with our city manager, we're hoping that the area will develop commercial out there. So
I had this image. I mean, I guess 20 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, once you start developing commercial or get the houses out there, you're going to start putting traffic lights in there and things like that, and truck drivers will learn about that. Well, we're going to stop there. Might as well just go through town anyway, and it kind of defeats the whole purpose. I mean, is that a legit concern, or?
I don't know that I certainly haven't seen it that way. I think that traffic will, and certainly the truck traffic will take that north loop and avoid the downtown area. I need it to do that. Our downtown needs it to do that, and we'll do everything we can to encourage that. There is already a significant amount of traffic, period, going through downtown. The truck traffic just makes it even worse. So having that bypass there, absolutely. I mean, the train tracks and Highway 78, all of that contributes to that cluster that's going on downtown. But I think that there's certainly that possibility that that it could become more destination, more traffic lights, and those kinds of things. And we've sort of planned on some of that. Our walking trails are already slated to go under that road, so we're looking at that possibility as well.
That'll be sharp. Yeah, look forward to seeing those tunnels under the road. Before we do take our break, at least I think twice this year, or maybe in the last 8 months, someone's brought a proposal for a truck stop, place for truck drivers to hang out, maybe shower and things like that. More an industrial drive, I think, and I think those are kind of just hanging out there. I don't know if they were approved or denied, but are you guys against doing anything like that within the city?
In terms of
having one of those big truck stops where it takes up good quality of land, trucks have to drive through town to get there, but it is definitely is potential commerce because we have so much traffic on I-20 as far as trucks.
Yeah, we don't have anything, and I wouldn't find myself particularly in favor, except in a very narrow set of circumstances, of accommodating some type of parking. I mean, I would rather that be done somewhere else. But I wouldn't want to get ahead of my skis either. I haven't seen an application that looks like something that we can approve. So I wouldn't want to get too far out there. I know some of the locations that have been proposed are they're dead on arrival for a host of reasons. Mm-hmm. Zoning or environmental reasons, or the land itself has issues that wouldn't be conducive to that. But that wouldn't be our primary.
So don't bother. I mean, you're saying don't not bother to present those if you're interested somewhere.
Well, I think every property owner has a right to present whatever they want to, but at the end of the day, that doesn't feel favorable to me.
Is that industrial or is that commercial? That kind of thing? Big commercial?
It would be commercial.
Okay, because I'm thinking about that land across from I-20, south of you guys, maybe to the west a little bit. I mean, I know Carroll County had talked about, in the previous chamber administration, they had talked about doing industrial stuff there. So, yeah, it might not be a bad spot. But I don't know if that's in the county or in the city. But anyway, time right now is 8:40. We're talking with Villa Rica Mayor Gil McDougal and Deputy City Manager, CFO for the City of Villa Rica, Sarah Andrews. And we're going to not let Gil talk during the next segment. We'll come back and continue our conversation here on this morning's Community Voice program, brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy. And we're on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page this morning. So any questions or comments, please post those there. And I will take a look at those during the break and share them with our guests. More after this.
Years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
I'm Michael Flynn, Oak Mountain Academy class of 1978.
Katie Flynn, class of 2010.
Justin Flynn, class of 2014.
Logan Flynn, class of 2019.
And I'm Marnie Flynn, current teacher at OMA.
My uncle Richard Orm Flynn, a founding father of Oak Mountain Academy, had a vision to see students become confident leaders who hold a faith-based value system in an academically rigorous environment. We are proud to celebrate 60 years of fulfilling my uncle's vision.
Our family invites you to visit the campus or oakmountain.us today.
8:42. Welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. My name is Colin Worthington. Our guest this morning, Sarah Andrews, Deputy City Manager, CFO for the City of Villa Rica, and Gil McDougal, who is the Mayor of Villa Rica. I'm promising to turn to Sarah here in just one second, but qualifying for some races in Villa Rica are coming up this year. Was it August?
In August.
What are those races?
So the mayor's office is up, and then wards 1 and 2.
And this is we're pretty near July, so heck, we might start seeing some signs out there pretty soon.
Maybe.
Do you think that you plan to qualify for that mayor's race? Do you want to do this 4 more years, Gil?
Well, I'm going to. I'm going to.
Do you want to do this? Well, I'm going to.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, there are so many things going on. I feel a responsibility to continue through this process one more time. So absolutely, I will qualify in August. I don't know the dates yet. Those are set by law. I believe it's maybe the third week in August.
21st through 23rd.
The people who plan to run, I'm sure they know already. So are there two city council seats that are open? Which ones are those?
Wards 1 and Ward 2.
Is Ward 1 Marchman?
It is.
And she'll be on our show next Friday, talk about a big event, which we'll
Right.
promote here. And what's the other one, 6?
Momtahan.
Momtahan, okay.
Ward 2.
It's Ward 2.
Okay, so
Ward
it's
1 and 2.
And Mayor. Very good. All right, Sarah, we got 2 very cool events coming up in Villa Rica. Annual events, big popular events for you guys. Next week is the Thomas Dorsey Festival, so tell us a little bit about that. Not this coming weekend, the weekend after.
That's correct. So Thomas A. Dorsey was born in Villa Rica, so we have his Birthplace and Heritage Festival every year. Not always the last weekend in June. This year it's June 23rd and 24th. The 23rd is Friday night, 7 p.m., and that's gospel night at the Mill. So we have a variety of gospel choirs that'll be singing. And then Saturday, starting at 3, we have jazz and blues. So that'll be a good time.
And any of that at the church?
Not now. I think this is the second year, maybe the third, that we've done it at the Mill.
At the Mill.
Entirely.
Okay. Yeah, so. It makes more sense when you get more people out there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, of course, 4th of July, Independence Day is coming up in a couple of weeks, and you guys do the big fireworks shebang.
Yes, so we do ours July 3rd. This is our 17th July 3rd big fireworks extravaganza from 5 to 10 at the V-Plex. So we will have music, we'll have vendors, usually some carnival type rides. So we hope to see y'all out there.
Who's the music for this event?
Oh, goodness.
Is the Bob Seger tribute band, or did I miss that? Did that already happen?
That already happened.
Okay, well.
Yes, that already happened. I'm sorry, I don't have that name off the top of my head.
Oh, Sarah.
I know.
Speaking of the V-Plex, there's something that the city council is considering as far as the development there. They're talking about 3 phases. It's for 55 and older. It's going to be homes. It might be like 320 townhomes. maybe more than that even. And City Council will consider that next month, the rezoning request. Now that's going to be, I think it's going to be to the west of the V-Plex and to the south of the V-Plex is the plan there. When this was brought forth initially, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, staff had said they were concerned that the utilities would not be available to support that. But they're bringing it forward again. Has anything changed as far as that belief?
No. We haven't installed any more sewer. That was the concern that you're referring to, sewer capacity south of I-20. So I don't have any more on that topic. I don't know if the mayor does.
Well, I wouldn't want to get, again, ahead of my skis. This will be considered before the council. I will say this. The concerns that existed before have not been mitigated. There's been no, as Sarah said, installation of new sewer lines to take advantage of the capacity that we have in that area. However, I do believe that this particular application, the applicant is mitigating that on their own, and we're going to need to take a closer look at it, and I don't want to get too far out on it.
Okay. If that does develop, would you have to move the future fireworks? Because again, it's you got houses there, and you wouldn't change the location in the future, you don't think?
So the lot that we use that's adjacent to the D-Plex, we have to use that for parking. That will not be affected by this development. So we deal with the owner that owns that lot next to us. We have to ask for permission every year to use their lot for parking, but it wouldn't be this particular development.
Very cool. You can't talk about Villa Rica government without talking about development, and kind of alluded to that 55 and older property. There's another one that City Council will consider in July, a rezoning request for 45 acres at Punkintown Road and Dallas Highway. The developer hoped to build a 120-unit townhome community for those aged 55 and older. And what was striking to me, several residents spoke against that proposal, citing concerns over traffic, quality of life, and lack of infrastructure. But at this point, Mayor Gil McDougal, blunt as ever, responded to those concerns, stating, "Look, development is going to continue to move. Congestion is going to happen." And that was to the point. I mean, that's a quote. I think I may have added blunt. Yeah, but everything else is pretty much a quote. I mean, development is going to happen. There's going to be congestion, so we just have to accept it.
Well, and here's the reality. As long as Paulding County keeps growing, as long as we sit on I-20, as long as we have Highway 78 running right through the middle of Villa Rica, as long as we have a railroad running right through Villa Rica, we are going to face these challenges. And what we have to do is the best planning we can looking forward. We can't wait until it becomes a major issue and then start deciding on how we're going to mitigate these traffic concerns. People live with this every single day. That particular intersection at 61 and Punkintown Road was a three-way stop for years and years and years and years. And the traffic would back up there for hours in the evening. And we brought in GDOT, who put in an emergency response, a quick response roundabout there. And for a while, that was sufficient. We got a lot of praise and kudos from the public, but now it is inadequate, even for the traffic that's there. So we have to do better planning going forward, and to do that, we've got to have some type of a vision about what the area looks like. As I said earlier, applicants and landowners have rights, and when they bring an application before the council, they have a right to be heard impartially. So I'm not going to weigh in on that particular development. I'm just going to make it clear that we have a responsibility to plan for this traffic with some forethought, and that's what we're looking at doing there.
And some of these things have been on the books or put out there for 6 or 7 months, so you guys have had plenty of time to look at that and think about that. Let's move on to my last question here before the break. Let's talk about the potential for the liquor stores in Villa Rica. With the potentially four liquor stores that'll be set up there, what kind of money can the city expect to generate? Because that is the big thing as far as allowing these to open up in Villa Rica, for the city anyway. But
sure. Sarah?
Is it? I mean, I think there is. Is it by the ounce or by the bottle where you guys get a certain amount of money?
Oh, I'm not sure we can get. I wouldn't be comfortable getting that specific with it. I mean, Sarah's our numbers person, but certainly there was always the consideration that the tax money that would flow from these. It's not like we created new people who are buying these spirits. They're just going somewhere else.
Going to Carrollton and Douglasville, yeah.
I think we carefully considered where these would be. We divided the city into quadrants. We made sure they wouldn't be in the downtown. 2 applicants have already been approved. We have 2 open slots. That application process is ongoing now. It has a date for when applications must be received. I don't have that in front of me. I don't know if Sarah.
I think it was July. It's July.
But
1st,
all the information is available on our website. But certainly there was a consideration of how much tax revenue would just remain in Villa Rica and in Carroll County if we and there could potentially still be in Villa Rica a Douglas County store too. But the 3 of those will likely end up in Carroll County. That is always a consideration. That's not newly created money. It will be staying in Villa Rica. And it will be significant.
All right, time right now is 8:51. We're going to take our final break and come back and try and throw out 42 more questions before the end of the show with that last 8 minutes.
You're doing
Voice,
good.
Brought to you by Tanner Health System, Oak Mountain Academy.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
As a believer in the power of education, we are called to set the standard by shaping and empowering the minds of future generations through quality education. Oak Mountain Academy embraces this philosophy, which is why my children attend this prestigious school. I am elated to serve on the OMA Board of Trustees, where together we prepare students and remind them to trust and believe in the power to transform the world. I'm Dr. Brian Bain, inviting you to celebrate our 60-year legacy of academic excellence. Visit us at oakmountain.us.
7 minutes left in this morning's Community Voice program, News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. My name is Colin Worthington. Our guests are with the City of Villa Rica. We've got Sarah Andrews, who is the Deputy City Manager, and Villa Rica Mayor Gil McDougal. My wife wants me to ask you about more events in the city of Villa Rica. How about the Gold Rush Festival?
All right, that's a big one. So Gold Rush Festival coming up in September. Friday, September 8th, we will have Departure, which is the Journey tribute band. Yes, they're great. We've had them before in Villa Rica. Saturday is the big festival. So historically, that's all been in one day. But in the last couple of years, we've split it out. So now you can enjoy 2 days. So Friday night's the concert, and then Saturday, September 9th is the 5K parade and the festival with all the vendors.
And I'm sure we'll talk plenty more about that before we get to that point. Hey, how financially stable is the city of Villa Rica? What's the money look like?
We're doing well. I have to give kudos. We have a new finance director. She's been with us 2 years. Her name is Jennifer Hallman. Brought her in from Douglas County. But I have to say, this has been in the works for quite a while. I would say 5 years ago, we made a real big push to improve the financial health of the city, and I'm proud to see where we are now. So we have been able to pull ourselves out of negative cash balance, negative fund balance, and I'm talking over a long span, 7 years.
Not like just yesterday.
Correct. No. But so, for instance, like property tax, we're sitting at 99% collection. That's kudos to both of our counties for their collection rates.
Is that rare? I mean, 99% is a big number.
I think that is very good.
Yeah.
Typically, over my career, we've probably seen 95 to 99% collection rate. So I'm happy to see at this year, currently we're sitting at 99% for both counties. That's wonderful. Thank you. Our local option sales tax, ever since COVID has just been coming in stronger and stronger. And again, since we're in 2 counties, we do everything twice. So we have property tax collection on both sides. We have SPLOST on both sides. We have sales tax on both sides. So between, for instance, when I came, the general fund was not as robust as it is now, but as of this past month's financial update, we have $10 million sitting in our general fund bank account. And the reason we are at the highest point of our tax collection point right now, but so I'm saying that's the highest bank balance of the year at this point. But the reason we do that is to prepare for the future, to prepare for emergencies. So I'm just glad to see that we are in good standing. So
I mean, that's general fund balance.
That's not the fund balance. That's our cash balance.
Okay. Time right now is 8:55. Going to wrap up our program here shortly. Does the city is there a policy on, I saw that, I know, Gil, you're going to hate me for this. I saw that the Preservation Society was looking at a property in Villa Rica that they're trying to raise some money. It's like the community center out there outside of Fairfield. I think it was built in 1930, but they're doing a fundraiser because they want to, buy it and restore that building. Does the city have any stance on that as far as themselves, as far as the city contributing money to that? I mean, I don't know if you guys are talked about it, or is there a policy in place as far as that support?
To my knowledge, we haven't been asked to participate in that, and I'm not familiar with it either. You say it's right outside of Fairfield?
Yeah, it's on 166. There's an old the Hewlett Community Center.
Okay.
And you see it you'll see it on the left as you're heading into Carrollton on that road. But it's built in 1930. Apparently, it was a school at one time. Taken over as the community. It became a community center. But the Villa Rica Historical Preservation Society. We are the village. Do you not know that song? Village Green Preservation Society.
I'm going to let you do it. Okay. I'm going to let you do that song.
All right. So, but there's no policy as far as the city contributing, and I don't mean that one in particular. I just mean any kind of.
Well, I don't think there's a policy, generally speaking, either. We have participated in some things years ago, but we've had nothing of late.
All right, as we wrap up the program here, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about trains. Any new news as far as that? I think Ken Denny, your PR guy, had posted something to Facebook about 2 months ago about the train. Said, hey, there's going to be some issues for a little bit, but it said 2 months. I mean, are things lightening up now? Have you had meetings with them recently as far as the stops in downtown?
Well, that issue with the trains is going to be an ongoing issue. I mean, it's always been an issue, but we had sort of a heightening of that in recent months. I think it has improved of late. We've worked with our liaison about ways to mitigate those when they block the trains. When the trains block the crossings, there are things that they can do, get out and break them apart and split them so that folks can continue crossing. But they were running into manpower issues on that, so that wasn't able to be done, but just a handful of times. But I do think it has improved now, but we're going to continue to have those issues as long as the economy continues to roar like it is, because those trains are bringing goods from Savannah, and the rail's going to Birmingham, Atlanta, and so it's going to continue this way. But we're going to do everything we can here to work with the railroad.
All right, 30 seconds left. Sarah, are there any positions open with the city of Villa Rica right now that we can shout out and promote? Because, I mean, like other city governments and Carroll County government, I'm sure there are some positions that you guys are unable to
I was speaking to the police captain the other day. He said he's looking for 6 police officers. So that is always something we're looking for. If you're interested in law enforcement, please take a look at Villa Rica. We'd love to have you.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming out. Anything you want to say before we head out? 10 seconds left.
Wonderful. Thank you for having us.
Yes, great. Thank you, Colin.
All right, guys. Thank you. And thank you for listening and watching this morning's Community Voice program on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. Time right now is 8:59. Stay tuned for national headlines. And no, we don't do local news at the top of the hour anymore. Glenn Beck's show is on the air. Hey, I want to say thanks to Ken for bringing this over. And any other city who would like to come be on the show, I encourage you to bring these by too. Thank you. Have a great weekend, everybody.